Only got 10 minutes, Tooks.
Because it's on right now. I have to go through Zoom.
Why?
Because it's not working through YouTube.
Huh. So you had to create a webinar, basically.
Live, bro.
All right, guys, what's up? MG the Mortgage Guy here. A little behind the scenes right there. Didn't know I was live, but I'm live now. So look, Matt Garland, NMLS number 58700, but I'm better known as MG the Mortgage Guy. So welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, please feel free to peruse around the channel because there's a lot of information there about real estate financing, all right? So you'll find videos on all different topics. And if you don't see something that you want, just leave me a comment on the video and I'll be sure to make a video about it, all right? Now, also, make sure you like this video, share it with your community, because today we're going to talk about a topic that it seems like everywhere I go, no matter where I travel, what city I speak in, everyone wants to know how to house hack, all right? So that's what we're going to speak about today. Now, we are live, so if you have any questions, I'm going to try to answer them, right? But if I don't get them, just go over to my YouTube channel, MG the Mortgage Guy, shoot me a DM, and I'll get you your questions answered there, okay? All right, so house hacking. Everyone wants to be a real estate investor. Everyone wants to go out here and buy real estate, build up their portfolios. So there's two lanes you can go about doing this, right? You can either, you have the capital for down payment and closing costs, and you can do straight investment property loans, right? Which that's the fastest way to build up your portfolio. Or you can do it as a first-time home buyer or buying a primary residence, and you can house hack. So house hacking is basically when you're using minimum down payment loans, all right? And you're buying real estate. This is my version of house hacking, I should say, right? This is my version. So you're using minimum down payment loans and like FHA or conventional, and you're buying multifamily properties. So there's a right way to do this and there's a wrong way to do this, all right? It's like a echo. You hear me? You gotta turn that down because it's an echo. This is live. Is it public though? Because I don't see it. All right, so I'm trying to find y'all so I can get to the comments, but I don't. All right, there we go. Now I see you guys. All right, I had to find you. My bad. So again, this is live. So look, there's a right way and a wrong way to do this, right? So if you're going to try to house hack, you can use programs like FHA. FHA is the one program that's available today where you're able to buy residential rental properties as an owner occupied and put as little as 3.5% down as a down payment. FHA, as of to date, is the only product that would allow you to use rental income to help you qualify as well. Conventional loans, if you're a first-time home buyer, will not allow you to use rental income to help you qualify for that property. So look, this is how you do it, right? This is my 4-3-2-1 strategy. I spoke about this on the Earn Your Leisure podcast. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure last year. And those videos went viral. But I want to kind of break this. I want to break this down in a separate video so that way you guys clearly understand the strategy. So now this is a slower strategy because you have to live in the property for 12 months, all right? So the key is if you have a 580 credit score, which is the minimum credit score for FHA, all right? You have a 580 credit score and you have documented income from either a job or self-employment for at least 2 years, you want to go and get yourself pre-approved. If you're looking to build a real estate portfolio, then you want to go ahead and start with a 4-family. Some areas call them quads or fourplexes, all right? Now, you buy that property using an FHA mortgage. You can even buy a distressed property, a property that's in foreclosure. You can buy a property that's at an auction, just like an investor, and you can use a FHA 203K. A FHA 203K is a rehab loan, all right? So you can use that FHA loan to get that four family. I'm in New York, we call it four family, so I'm gonna just keep saying four families, all right? You buy that, put 3.5% down, plus your closing costs. Now, your closing costs can be paid for by the seller up to 6%. Now, the seller has to agree to pay for it, and the home has to appraise for that monies as well. But we'll talk about that on a different level, at a different video, right? Your down payment can come to you in the form of a gift, or you can borrow from like your 401k or your retirement money as well. So you buy that four family with an FHA loan, you close with it, and you live in one of the units for at least 12 months, okay? Now, prior to you moving out of that four family, you'll have to refinance into a conventional loan. Now, you have to make sure the refinance makes sense for you. Rates must still be low. You must still be able to qualify for that property for the refinance. So the refinance is not a guaranteed thing. I want to make that very clear. It's not guaranteed. You still have to credit qualify for a refinance, all right? Now, the purpose of the refinance is so now you can put it into a conventional loan, okay? And then now, when you're ready to move out of that four family, you can go ahead and now buy a 3-unit and use an FHA loan again, and now the 3-unit will be your primary residence. All right, so let me repeat that. You use a FHA loan, you go buy a 4 family. Now, we can't do 5 families, we can't do 6 families, we can't do 10 families. We only can do 4 families because that's still considered residential property, all right? Now, you can also do mixed-use property. So for those of you who don't know what a mixed-use property is, a mixed-use property is typically in New York, you'll have a storefront on the bottom and you'll have residential apartments on top. So that, oh, they brought back the, perfect. So you can buy mixed-use property as long as it's more residential square footage than commercial, then you're fine. So for example, if you find a mixed use with a storefront on the bottom and 3 residential properties, that is okay. Now, when you refinance out of that, go into the conventional loan, now you go to the 3 family, now you use the FHA financing again, and now you live in that 3 family and the 4 family is completely rented out, all right? Now you do that 4, 3, 2, 1 until you exhaust, and you always have to repeat, right? You always have to repeat. So now when you go from the 3 family, you got to refinance out of the 3 family, then go into a conventional loan, then go down to the 2 family, use the FHA again, you'll occupy one of the units, and then from there. So you got to think about this strategy, right? And the main reason why I say this strategy, right? The main reason I say it is because most people want to go ahead and buy rental property. Most people, the American dream is flawed. Let me just say this. When I was coming up and I purchased my first home, it was a single family. Because I'm from the hood and you just wanted to get out of the hood. So what do you all know? We all know single families, white picket fence in the suburbs, right? That was the biggest mistake I made, is buying a single family first. I should have purchased multifamilies first. So what I'm trying to teach you guys, it comes from my own mistakes in my own life with me buying real estate. So if you go ahead and if you take this slow route, if you want to be a real estate investor, my thought is always you should not be looking at a condo. You should not be looking at a single family home unless you have to, because you have children, you have certain needs, and a single family home is going to be best for you and your family. Then by all means, do what you got to do. I'm not trying to talk down about single family or condo home ownership because it serves a purpose. It's better than renting, in my opinion. But if you know you have limited capital, meaning money, and you want to buy real estate, you want to build a real estate portfolio, this is the cheapest way that you, as a future real estate investor, can build up your portfolio with minimum money out of pocket. All right. So you got to go 4 units, 3 units, 2 units. So by the time you get to that 1 unit, you should have enough cash flow coming in from those 3 properties. So now you can get the one family that you truly want. It could be your dream home versus the property that you can afford today. All right. So that's my 4, 3, 2, 1 method. I want all you, and that's kind of what we call house hacking. So again, there have so many different definitions out there about house hacking, right? I've seen some things out there where they say buy a house and rent out all the rooms. That's house hacking. That is correct, right? The method that I'm telling you is basically how to use minimum down payments, loans, 3.5% FHA loans, and do it the right way. Right? The right way is live in the property for 1 year. Sacrifice 1 year from living in that 4 family, right? And live in there. Because like I tell you guys, if you see me on Instagram Live, if you see me at any DJ Envia or Flipping New Jersey's real estate seminars, I always tell you the streets are watching. There's a lot of people that try to use FHA programs and never move in a home. I'm a licensed mortgage professional. I would never tell you to do that because that is fraud. All right. And you guys have to really understand the right way to do this is the occupancy guidelines for FHA loans currently, as of today, March 2nd, 2020, states you must live in that property for 12 months. Sacrifice 1 year. So that way you're not looking over your shoulder and worrying every time your doorbell rings or someone knocks at your door, it's the FHA police. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you live in the house for 12 months. And if you do this and in 3 years, think about this. If you sacrifice 3 years, you could have 9 doors to your portfolio. Each of them, you could have paid 3.5% out of pocket. Maybe you had seller's concessions where the sellers paid your closing costs for each of those units. And now you can buy your dream home. All right. So that is MG the Mortgage Guy's version of house hacking, which is the 4, 3, 2, 1 strategy. All right. Buy multifamilies, use 3.5% FHA loans, live in it for 12 months, refinance out of the FHA, go into a conventional loan, then repeat that and buy the next property. Now, if you're thinking like the investor, right? If you're not buying turnkey properties, you can still do the same strategy with FHA by using an FHA 203K. Now you can buy an undervalued property that needs work to it. You can use the FHA 203K, renovate that property. Now, hopefully it'll have some great equity in it. So when it's time for you to refinance, maybe you can do a cash out refinance and pull out some equity to now use that to go pay for the next property as well. So there's many ways to slice it and dice it, but FHA is one of the best tools that are available in today's market for you first-time home buyers or anyone looking to buy a primary residence. Now, let me repeat that. FHA is just not for first-time home buyers. FHA is for primary residents only. All right. So if you own a home and you sold it a couple years ago and you're looking to get back into the real estate market and you want to buy a home, a multifamily, you can qualify potentially for an FHA loan. All right. It doesn't matter if you're a first-time home buyer or not. So I want to be very clear about that. The main thing is you must live in the property for at least 1 year. I'm going to repeat that. You must live in the property for at least 1 year. All right. So again, MG the Mortgage Guy, NMLS number 58700. I am a licensed loan officer. This is my version of the house hack, doing it the right way, the legal way, by using FHA to help you build up your real estate portfolio, right? So let's see what we got going here. We got a couple questions in the comments. You know what? I'm going to do something. I didn't even want to do this, right? I'm going to take one question. 516-881-3732. Call me right now. 516-881-3732. If you got a question right now, you're on YouTube Live with me, call me right now and I'm going to answer your question live. And it has to be about this subject. Don't call me and talk about anything else but what we're talking about today. All right? I'm only going to give one question live on air. 516-881-3732. If not, we're going to cancel this live and that's all we got. No problem, money bird. How long does the refinance take? One celebrity, good question. The refinance can take 30 days. What's up, Matthew speaking?
Hi, Matt. This is Sherry. How are you today?
I'm alive and blessed. How about yourself?
I'm good, doing well. Thank you so much for asking. I do have a question. You just said something about the house hacking, which you said you can go from 4, 3, 2, 1. Is it possible to go instead of 4, 3, 2, 1 if I wanted to go 4, 4, 4, 4?
If you're gonna be a monkey, be a gorilla, they say, huh? Yes, I love it. Can you go 4, 4, 4 like a Jay-Z album? Possibly not. But look, so this is how it got to go, right? If you're trying to go 4, 4, 4, 4, like a Hove album, that is possible. But again, you have to prove why you're going from 1 4 family to another. The reason why I say 4, 3, 2, 1, because it's easier to go down than to go sideways. You know what I'm saying? Because you can always say, you know what? I'm downsizing a little bit. I'm moving to a little bit of a better neighborhood. If you go 4, 3, 2, 1. If you go 4, 4, now, if the second 4 family is in a better neighborhood, better school district, yeah, that motivation could work. So in loans and with underwriting, guys, I want to just be very clear. It's all on how you structure your loan. It's all behind the motivation. You know what I'm saying? And it has to make sense because underwriters are not robots. They're human. They're going to look at the property addresses. They're going to see what's the distance between this house and that house. They're going to look up, see the school districts. So it gotta make sense. You feel what I'm saying? If it makes sense, then it can happen.
Okay, that was a good answer for me. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate you for calling in, and make sure you share this with your friends.
I will. And it was just so you know that the Caesar Envy thing. It was nice to actually meet you there. It was real good. It was a great seminar, by the way.
It was a pleasure meeting you too. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate you.
No problem. You have a good day then, Matt.
All right, you do the same.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'm going to take one more because a few of y'all called me, and that was a really good question. So I want to hear what y'all got to say. 516-881-3732. Call me now. One more question. There we go. Hello, Matthew speaking.
Hey, Matthew, this is Mika calling out of Yonkers. How are you?
Yo, Yonkers, YO in the building. What's up?
Hey, so I have a question. So my concern is buying a 4-family home and not being able to cover the mortgage until I find the tenant. So yes, I'll occupy 1 unit and it's still going to take time to find 3 other occupants or 3 other families to help pay for the mortgage. So what is your advice?
My advice is don't buy nothing you can't afford yourself because tenants ain't guaranteed to pay you 1 cent. So everything I just said in this whole house hacking thing, it sounds great on paper, guys, but ultimately never buy a home that you can't make that mortgage payment with because your tenants do not have to pay you anything. And make sure before you buy multifamily properties, you need to know what the landlord tenant rules are for your area. You're in New York. New York is pretty terrible. You know what I'm saying? It is not landlord friendly in New York. It is tenant friendly. It could take over a year to get someone evicted in New York. All right. So you have to make sure, especially because you're in New York, you have to make sure you are vetting this tenant. You want to make sure you crossing all your T's and dotting all your I's before you let them in your home. Because once they get in, unfortunately, you stuck.
Got it.
So don't bite off more than you can chew. My advice.
Got it. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate the love.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. Hello, Matthew speaking.
Hey, MJ, what's going on, please, bro?
What's going on, man? What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Jay. I'm calling from Jersey, Patterson.
Patterson in the building. What's good, Jay?
My question is, well, basically, I made the same mistake you did when you first started out. You know, I purchased a 1 family.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I reverse that? Or what do I do? I have to sell and then, start all over? Or what do I do?
Look, I'm not going to tell you to sell your home because I don't know your personal financial situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That would be reckless of me because there would be probably some people that'll say, yeah, sell it and go buy something else, right? I don't know your personal financials to answer that question. I would tell you this: if you have equity in that home, then maybe you go take some equity out of that home to go buy a multifamily. Now, if you want to use minimum down payments, again, you have to prove or show the motivation as to why you're going from the one family in Patterson. That's where your house is now, Patterson?
Correct.
And where would you want to buy? In Patterson?
I'll buy in Patterson, yeah.
So now we got to prove.
Anywhere. Okay, go ahead.
We got to prove why you moving from the one family in Patterson to the multifamily in Patterson if you're trying to use an FHA loan, right? Now, and that would be probably difficult, to be honest with you, to do something like that. But if you were going from, Patterson to Jersey City,
okay,
then that could probably make sense because you're going to a little bit of better area in New Jersey, probably better school districts, and it's going to be a little bit more expensive. It's more of an upgrade. You feel what I'm saying?
I get it. I totally get it.
So then that would probably work to use the FHA loan and use that as your primary residence. So that could potentially work. But Patterson to Patterson, that may cause a lot of red flags where, the occupancy will be questioned because you got to realize, again, underwriters and loan officers like myself, we're married to these loans after closing. If we get audited and the auditors feel like we committed occupancy fraud, they can, it's a lot that can happen on our end, but also stuff that can happen to you as the consumer, the borrower. So that's why I'm very careful on how I educate people and I give advice on this subject because occupancy fraud is real.
Yes.
So that would probably be the best way to do it, brother.
Or go conventional.
Or go conventional, right? So if you go conventional and you structure it as an investment property, put your 25% down and call it a day. Right now, conventional rates are cheap for investment properties. I locked in someone today in the high fours for an investment property on a 30-year fix. It's a great rate for an investment property. It's the cheapest money out there for investors versus like asset-based or hard money. So if you have the capital, and this is what I try to tell everybody, if you have the money, just go conventional. Don't waste your time with the foolishness of potentially frauding out the government. It's not worth it in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, got you. Appreciate you.
No doubt, Jay. I appreciate you, man. Stay up.
No doubt. Peace.
All right, peace. All right, guys. So look, don't never be dependent on a tenant is advice I'm gonna give you guys. It sounds good on paper, but a tenant does not have to pay you one red cent. Do your due diligence and learn the landlord-tenant laws in whatever state that you're in. See how long it takes to evict the whole 9 yards before you buy a multifamily. Don't depend on them paying the mortgage. Make sure you can afford the mortgage. Also, if you're buying a 3 or 4 family and using an FHA loan, you need at least 3 months of reserves post-closing. 3 months of reserves is your mortgage payment. So if your mortgage payment is $2,000 a month, you need $6,000 in reserves. All right? So that was just quick Q&A, a quick YouTube live on house hacking, the MG the Mortgage Guy way, using the 4-3-2-1 strategy. All right? My name is MG the Mortgage Guy. Again, NMLS number 58700. Looking forward to working with you guys. I'm gonna put a link down below in the description. If you have any more questions about this subject matter, complete that form and me and my team members will reach out to you and we'll have a free consultation. I also have a private Facebook group that's coming out, the MG the Mortgage Guys Real Estate Finance Playbook, where I'm gonna be offering the coaching, mentorship, the whole 9 yards. It's not free. I ain't gonna hold you up, but it's gonna be very, very affordable. I wanna be able to help and mold the future generation of home buyers and homeowners, and that's another way that I'm gonna do it. So stay on the lookout for that coming soon. And if you're on my Instagram page, DM me. And if you have any questions, all right? MG the Mortgage Guy. See you next video.